to another Counter-Strike Go edition of the Esports Breakdown. Tomorrow we have a 3-game slate again for DreamHack. We will have a day off for DreamHack, at least on Sunday. They may throw another couple slates in there, hopefully, but we will see. Tomorrow's pricing is a little eye-opening. I guess I'm not really surprised with anything anymore, kind of based off the last 2 days, how Zywoo and Simple were priced, and Alu actually. We priced him at 10,000 and 9.8, and then today, tomorrow's slate as a favorite, minus 160 ENTs over NIP. He is a whopping $8,200. So lock him in. Any cash game lineups you are going to play, again, probably will garner the most ownership on the slate, or one of, and there's another player that will probably be second. ENTs being the favorite here, I think you can jump on Yampy. 8,000 a little bit expensive, but we don't really have a lot else to pay for. Their value plays, Sergey is definitely in play at 6,400. Sunny and Ariel are okay options as two, but I would probably prefer the top three in this matchup. On the NIP side right now, it's just really hard to trust anything on NIP. Campus has looked pretty bad since coming in for Lekro, and they just haven't looked really good as a team. So, I mean, obviously Plopsky is always viable, and he certainly is cheap enough here at 7,600. Same with Knock and Rez, if you think NIP takes this from ENTs. But I do like ENTs here as the favorite. And just the way that NIP is playing right now, it's really hard to trust a lot of them in cash. So I think it's a nice GPP stack now that they're a little bit more appropriately priced, where you could go Plopsky, Knock, and Rez is probably where I would go for the 3-man stack as a GPP leverage, but I'm not really going there in cash. Spirit and Godsent. Spirit is the biggest favorite on the slate at minus 235. This is a slate I would expect Mur to have been priced in the 9,000s. He's 7,800, so he would be my second lock of the slate. Farlig, I think, is always a viable one-off because he can kind of carry the team for Godsent, but I don't really know that you'll get to him. You might, just because we have a lot of salary to work with, but I do prefer Mur over him. And then also on Spirit, I really like Sumda Young at 6,400 and iDisbalance at 6,800. And we saw in Spirit's last game how iDisbalance can kind of just take over the server with the AWP, like he did on Nuke. He had over 30 kills. So he really has a lot of upside. Even though we know Mur is typically the guy we target. Chopper's viable too, but I do prefer Mur and iDisbalance as my two favorite Spirit plays. I haven't heard any other news that Mur wouldn't be playing tomorrow because he had that server issue, but I would just monitor that before the slate locks just to make sure that he is in your lineup. That's kind of all I'm considering. I think like I said, my three favorite plays for Spirit are probably Mur, iDisbalance, and SDY Sumda Young. All right, moving on to our last game, which most of the NA games, odds-wise, have typically come out to be what they think would be the most competitive. And Gen G is favored minus 150 against C9. And I think similar to all these slates, I mean, you really take a stand on a side. I think 100 Thieves seemed a little bit more obvious today than a lot of these other pick'em games that we've had. They're playing pretty well. They played really well on the first map, not playing as well here at Overpass. But I think that Gen G and C9 will be really competitive, especially Gen G coming in as the favorite, or at least right now. I think Automatic will gain a lot of ownership at 7,200. Kusta at 7,600. And Bented at 7,200 as well. I think all three of those are really viable in an easy 3-man stack. And then on C9 side, as we always know, OC and Floppy are the top two guys. And then after that, it kind of can rotate between Sonic and Modem. Sonic played really well at the AWP, even though they lost at 100 Thieves. So I think he does have a little bit more upside than Modem. But I think in GPPs, this is a nice way probably to go C9 and then pair them up with either Spirit or ENTs. And then in cash, I expect people to be probably either a 2-2-2 with Alu and someone else from ENTs, and then probably Mur and iDisbalance, or Mur and Chopper from Spirit. And then probably take an automatic and Kusta here, or automatic and Bentet if you're on the Gen G and the cash side where you're usually taking favorites. So it is going to be a slate, I think, where you're trying to figure out how to spend all your money. You know, you have $8,400 a player to spend. Even if you put Murr or Alou in your captain spot, which I think will be the popular options, you should have no issue with filling out your roster with people that you're really confident in tomorrow, and you really shouldn't have to punt with too much value. So there's not a ton to break down just because the pricing is still really egregious in my opinion. I just think they need to be more aggressive. You know, get Alou up there at 9.8, get Murr up there at 9.5 or higher. And just kind of like my same explanation for the showdown slates. You know, when showdown, basically you can just always play whoever you want. It's really easy to at least play the top three and then just plug in the last person, especially if it's a heavy favorite. So I'd like to see the pricing just get a little bit more aggressive in general for CSGO. So that way it's harder for really casual players just to click the top 5 guys and maybe pick one punt. So that's kind of where I'd start tomorrow. Start with Spirit, Ents, probably mix in some Gen G unless you feel confident on a C9 bounce back, which they certainly could. They did just run into a really streaky 100 Thieves team. So I think it's definitely viable that C9 can find the victory here against Gen G. And Gen G beat, you know, I think they beat EG, or it was close. I don't remember. I got to look back. But I think you can take either side of that matchup. So that'll be it for today. Hopefully we get something for Sunday, and we'll have a little bit of video content out for that too. Subscribe down below, give it a like, share it. Hope to see you guys back.